I've talked about belief systems. They are important for peacemakers. They're important. It's important to understand their roles in peace education. Some people believe that religions are the cause of all the wars on the planet. We can understand why they reach that conclusion, because people care so passionately about their faith that they might crusade and be prepared to die for their belief. And some people describe such activities as holy war. But I want to bring an emphasis to holy peacemaking. Religion is meant to promote peace. That's what it's meant to do. And I think if it's practiced properly and authentically, it will promote peace and it will be a blessing to the world. But there's no guarantee that it will be practiced well. It's the same with the secular humanist traditions. We've had mass slaughter in countries that have called themselves communist. Now, you can't sheet home the blame to God and religion for the slaughters that have happened, in communist China, Cambodia, the Soviet Union, Nazi Germany, which followed a kind of Norse mythology. So, religion, any belief system, can be instrumentalized and weaponized. When that happens, somebody is using religion for their own base and carnal purposes. Somebody's not allowing the tradition to inspire them and elevate and ennoble them and send them out on mission.
So God's not the problem, human beings are.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Human beings are always interpreting God's word.
Yeah. That's right.
And the temptation is always there to instrumentalize a belief system. And in so doing, we can corrupt it, we can weaponize it, we could use it to justify oppressing other people, attacking other people, committing acts of violence, even acts of genocide. There's no limit to what you can do when you are hell-bent on something. And when you are hell-bent on something, it's funny how religious ideas and perversions and twistings of holy books come readily to hand to justify why you are doing what you are doing, or why a state might do what it does. We're not just talking about non-state actors here. A state can act in a genocidal way. Does everybody have a belief system? Well, I would suggest that this is the level at which we need to understand human beings and their conflicts. I mean, I know that some people try to denominate all conflicts in terms of competitions over land or competitions over energy and so on, and there's truth to all of that. But when you think about a human being has a mind, they're a conceptual being. A human being is designed to think, to use their mind, to have a purpose and to envisage an end in life. So it's that human thinking being that has to decide what to do with all these resources. Yes, there's competition at every level. Two people competing for a job. Two paramours competing for the affection of a lover. Two countries competing for a limited resource, offshore oil or something in the ground. But the ultimate battlefield is ideological, because it's what we want to do with that. We might want oil, right? But what's that oil for? For our cars. Where are we going in our cars? Why do we have the lifestyle that we have? Why is there runaway consumerism in a lot of parts of the West? we have the lifestyle we have because it embodies the values that we believe in. And they might be loud, they might be jingoistic, they might be patriotic. Maybe we want to fire off rockets and have great fireworks to celebrate how fantastic we are or how much we love our country. And that part of that could be authentic patriotism. But it's all governed by our values, and our values are inspired by our beliefs. So when we're talking about human beings, the ultimate source of the friction, and therefore source of the resolution to friction, is at the level of belief and understanding and ideology. What do you think? This is designed to be a conversation. I'm attempting to open up a conversation, but we do want to hear from you what you think about this. I believe that everybody has a belief system, whether they're aware of it or not. It will be implicit or explicit. Implicit is you're running off it, but you're not actually aware of what those beliefs are. Just as a computer, and living in our modern age, you can often find a good analogy in technology. A computer has its hardware and its software. Just as the human being has a brain, it's a kind of biocomputer, it's with nerve wiring, but it has a software, a code, a set of instructions, a belief system that it runs on. Now, for some, especially for the traditional religious practitioner, they might be able to articulate what those beliefs are, as when they go to church on a weekend and recite a creed, for example, which is a statement of beliefs. Others might not be able to articulate so readily what they believe in, yet they believe in something nevertheless. So it is fair to say that I think it's a fair assumption to make. What do you think? That we're all operating on some philosophy of life or belief system. And the art of peacemaking and peace education comes in to describe the betweenness and the withinness. Let's just stick with the betweenness between one belief system and another. Should that ground between this belief system and this other one over here, should it be a minefield which gives us nothing but problems? Or should it be sacred ground? Can it be holy ground? Can we clear this minefield through the right insights and the right processes and approach, so that these two can meet in amity, in friendship, in a spirit of openness, so they can learn from each other? They don't have to believe what the other believes. But if peacemaking is to have any effect in the world, if it's to have teeth, then everybody needs the security of understanding the other so that the other isn't completely alien. This is the job of conflict resolution, to make holy ground between the different beliefs. And I say between because even with intra-faith conflict resolution, you've got differences between the denominations, between the factions within a given faith tradition. Even with intra-personal conflict resolution, peacemaking within the individual, you've got different conflicts between aspects of your personality,
Of self.
of self. There might be conflicts between the conscious and the unconscious, if we're to talk psychologically. And where there is a conflict between what one espouses, what one preaches, and what one practices, we call that hypocrisy. But where there is consonance and harmony between the walk and the talk, we call that integrity. So I think we're going to recur to this point because to be a peacemaker, you need to have integrity. You need to be whole. We're not going to have any beneficial influence on the world if we say one thing and do another. We have to practice what we preach.